Hi crafty friends, Melissa Minor here. Thanks so much for joining me on my YouTube channel. Today is Simple Stories Saturday, and this is where my friends and I get together for a YouTube hop. I will leave a link listed down below in the description box to all my friends playing along. Be sure to look for their Simple Stories playlist. All right, today I'm working with the Simple Stories Front Porch Collector's Essential Kit. Now, I feel very lucky. I actually entered a drawing on the Simple Stories Facebook page, sometime around Black Friday, and I won this kit. So they sent me all of this. It's 12 sheets of double-sided 12 by 12 paper, including a cut-apart element sheet. It has 12 by 12 cardstock stickers. There's 101 stickers. There's the Simple Pages page pieces with 15 die-cut pieces. There's 32 chipboard stickers, and then there's journal bits and pieces. So I've already cut into this collection. So I'm showing you here some of the papers. Now some of them are full sheets and others, like I said, I've already cut into and I just have scraps, but they're so pretty. And so this is what I'm going to be using on today's layout, but I wanted to give you a good look at this collection if you haven't seen it yet. So here's some of those cut aparts. I love this pink paper and this blue, and then this is my favorite sheet with all of the beautiful doilies on the paper. So I really like that one. And then there's that beautiful green. And let's see, here's a couple more sheets back here. I've got a couple more full sheets. There's one with little postage stamps. And then this one has some print. I think I've got it upside down, some print and some florals, and then the red. And then I really like this one, this wood grain. So I think I'm going to be using the wood grain today. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on my layout. So I do want to use the wood grain paper, and this is the photo I want to scrapbook, and this is me and my daughter Tatum and my boyfriend Dale. And then I want to use this 4x6 cut apart that was on one of the papers, and it says Our Family. So I thought that was perfect for these family photos. Now I've already cut down some paper, so this one I've cut down to 12 by 4. And this one I've cut down to 10 by 4. And I want to just layer some papers. I've cut the pattern paper that had these little designs on them. So I cut out a strip of the pink, and I want to add that to each of the sides just to give it some extra interest. And then I have this pink paper that I've cut to 5.5 by 9. And then I have this one here that's 4 by 9.5 in the yellow. So I kind of stumbled on this design by accident. I originally thought I wanted to start with some banner pieces, but then I didn't really like that design because I had one 4x6 photo. And after I'd cut my pieces, I just started arranging them, and I thought, hey, I think I like this design. So you never know what's going to happen when you just start cutting papers and putting them on your layout. All right, so I think this is how I want this. Ooh, sorry about that. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. Now I've glued down the papers on the back, and now I want to go ahead and glue these pieces down. So the 4x6 Our Family cut apart, and then for my photo, I do want to mat it. So I have 4.5 by 6.5 piece of that blue pattern paper. And then off camera, I did go in with my edge distressing tool, and I distressed the edges on that. So I'm just going to lightly tack these items down because I think I'm going to be tucking items in. And so I'll go back in later with some liquid tacky glue just to get everything adhered down nicely. This was a tag from one of the cut aparts, so I want to bring in this VersaFine Clear ink. This is in the color Morning Mist, and this just gives it that little hint of color so that it stands out without being so bold. And so I like that. So I went ahead and inked the edges of that piece. I do want to build an embellishment cluster up here. Now I'm bringing in my crocodile just to cut a hole in the center of that tag so that I can add some twine up there. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this tag right in here. And I want to build an embellishment cluster here. And then I'm thinking I want to build another embellishment cluster in the upper right of the Our Family Cut Apart and in the lower right of our family photo. So I want to have 3 embellishment clusters to really just draw your eye around the page. I found one of the stickers on the sticker sheet that has this little bird, and then I'm bringing in some assorted flowers from my stash. I've got this yellow, and then I think I'm going to pull in some blue as well, just to really match that paper. I found a die. This is the Scrapbook.com Sprigs die, and I'm using some brown cardstock, and I cut out some of these sprigs, and I think that's just going to really look nicely in these floral embellishment clusters here. So I'm going to add that right here. Now to balance this out, I have my Crop-A-Dile. I'm cutting a hole in the center of this tag. Again, I'm going to go around the edges of the tag with a little bit of ink. And then I want to add this tag to the lower right-hand side of my layout. So I can start working on my embellishment cluster over here. I am using the refillable dotted adhesive roller from scrapbook.com for my tape adhesive. And then for my liquid adhesive, I like to use tacky glue that I get on Amazon. So let me get this tag in here. And I really like how the paper layers on the background just give it some extra interest. Now I have found that the best glue for adhering these paper flowers is this heavy gel matte paste. So this works great. I have a paintbrush that's dedicated just for this gel matte paste, and you just dab a little bit onto the back of the flowers, and then it will really stick. I brought in some craft foam, and I cut a little piece of the foam, and I'm putting this on this little bird up here. Now for each of my stickers, I did go in with a powder tool off camera, and I like to take the stick off of the stickers so that way I can move them around more like die cuts onto my layouts. All right, so in my stack and sort tray here, I have a few other items that I want to add to my page. So here's another yellow flower. I've got some leaves and then a blue flower here. So I'll go ahead and kind of dry fit these to see how I want to arrange them. Here's another one of those sprigs from the Sprigs die that I cut with like a chocolate brown paper. And I think that's going to look nice over here. So I'm going to go ahead and start gluing this down. So I'm using that heavy gel mat and just dabbing a little bit on the back. And you'll see here. There we go. And it dries really quickly. So that's another thing I like about this is that you don't have to wait a long time. Once you put that down, it's going to stick. So let me put the sprig in here. Then I'll add a little more of this gel mat. And that really makes the flowers stick down. So let me give them a good press. Got a couple more here. So let me put the sprig, tuck that in behind this yellow flower. A little bit more gel mat on these leaves. And then I'll finish this cluster with this little tiny blue flower. So there, I really like that. I think that looks good. Now I'm bringing in some more stickers, and these were right off the sticker sheet that came in the Collector's Essential Kit. And these are a couple little stamps. Now this one here has a little house on it, so I thought it was perfect. And then the other stamp has a cute little bird. So I just want to tuck them in, just kind of stack them here. So I'll add a little bit of tape runner to the back, and I'll tuck one stamp here, and then I'll tuck in this other stamp right below it. So I think that really looks good in this cluster down here. Okay. Now to finish off this little embellishment cluster, I do have a little word sticker, and this one says, "Love my family." And I really like how it brings that brighter, it's like a rich pink color, a deeper pink. You see it on the bird in the upper left, and then now with the "Love my family," it just draws that color down to the bottom. This is a little sticker from the sticker sheet with 3 little, looks like hand crocheted little hearts. And now to start working on my upper cluster here, I've got this cute little camera that was on the sticker sheet. Again, I took the stick off with the powder tool, added a little bit of craft foam to give it some extra dimension, and then I found this word sticker, and this one says "Family is Forever." To add a little mixed media to my layout, I'm bringing in a stencil from my stash. This might be Simple Stories. It could be Vicky Boutin. I'm not sure. I didn't have a label in the package. All right, so I'm going to cover up my photo, and now I'm using some TCW modeling paste, and I'm just going to add a little extra interest here to my layout by taking my knife and just scraping a little bit of this modeling paste on. And I covered my photo just to make sure that I didn't get any modeling paste on my photo. So I'm gonna make 3 little clusters of this modeling paste. So this first one will be down here in this lower left. And I really think that gave that a lot more interest down there. Now I'm gonna turn my page so I don't stick my arm in it. I'm gonna put a little bit right up here by the camera. And so I'll take the modeling paste and repeat the process here, and I don't want a whole lot, so I'm just going to stencil on a few of these little symbols, and then I want one more cluster up here in this upper right hand or left hand side. So I turn my page, and I want to make sure that it doesn't get on the tag, so I think I'm just going to put it more at the top. So I'm going to turn my layout around. I'm just going to stencil a few up here at the top. And then I'll go in with my heat tool just to set these so that I continue the process of completing this layout. You could also just set it aside to dry, but I decided to bring in my heat tool. No layout is complete without splatter, so I'm bringing in my favorite Shimmerz paints. This is called Whites of Their Eyes. Now I am on the Shimmerz Paints design team, so if you decide to place an order with Shimmerz Paints, if you add my name to the notes section of your order, Shimmerz will send you a free paint. You can add my name to every Shimmerz order you place, and each time you'll get another free paint. So that's a great way to really build up your collection of paints. So I really appreciate when you do so. Okay. So I've put some splatters here. At first I was just tapping on the nozzle and it wasn't giving me enough splatter. So I'm bringing in the tip of my glue bottle here and just tapping on the end and putting splatters all over my layout. You'll see off camera I added a little bow to the top, and now I think this is so cool. This is from Photo Play, and it's the circles and buttons, and you can make your own epoxy flare. So I used a circle punch, cut a piece of the pattern paper, and now I'm taking one of these clear epoxy circles and I'm just laying it right over that piece that I cut out from the pattern paper. Now, Photoplay also has a die that you can do this with, but I found that the majority, I have different circle punches that fit the shapes perfectly. Bringing in a glue dot, and I want to make a little tangled thread area up here. So I'm just going to give about 3 pulls here on my thread. This is some sewing thread from Walmart. And I found a color that I thought looked nicely for the layout, just more of that yellow cream color. So I'll put that underneath my homemade epoxy flare. That looks cute. I love it. All right. Now my layout needs a little bit of sparkle. Let me add a little glue back here first just to make sure that I got that nice and glued down. I don't want that coming up off my layout. And now I'm going to bring in these gems. Now these are my favorite gems. So Pink Fresh has the most beautiful little gems. Now these are called Clear with Gold Dust. And when I glue these down, I'm using my Pink and Main picker tool here. And I like to use the Nuvo Deluxe glue. And the reason I like to use that is it really dries clear. And so I think it's great for these clear gems. So there's just a little hint of sparkle. You can see just a little hint of gold. And so I like that. It's not so blingy. It's just a little hint. So here is a look at my completed layout. I really like the way this turned out. It seemed simple, but yet it looks elegant. So if you've enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give me a thumbs up. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and come back. Now, I will have still shots over on my Facebook and my Instagram, and I would love for you to follow me on those platforms as well. Be sure to check out all my crafty friends playing along for the Simple Stories Hop, and I'll have their links listed down below in the description box. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!